All right. You guys, I'm not even nervous. I don't even know why I'm acting like I'm nervous. But a disclaimer. Um, if you are uncomfortable talking about drugs, don't watch this video because I'm going to be very transparent about my experience because that's just what I do. I talk about my truth because my truth may free somebody else from their shame behind something and they can be free for their truth, into their truth. So if you are uncomfortable talking about drugs, you can go now, but we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of backstory about my experience smoking weed, my reasons for doing it, my reasons for stopping, and I'm just gonna give you guys my suggestions as to why, if you've been thinking about quitting, why you should. Not telling you should, but if you've been thinking about it, I got you. I can give you some reasons. I used to have friends in high school that smoked weed. Skip class, smoke weed, would be high. I didn't even know what being high was. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how you would act when you were high. I would just hear people talking about being high, joking about being high. I didn't know what it meant. So I knew that it was something you shouldn't have been doing. Like it was like a bad thing to do, like a rebellious thing to do. So, you know, I stayed away from it. I told myself that I would wait till I was 18 years old to drink or smoke. And so I waited till I was 18. And my senior year, the last few weeks of school, I smoked for my first time on my friend's rooftop with a couple other friends. So he passed, you know, we did a little sife. He passed it around. It got to me. I took my first hits. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this. And I felt nothing. Like a couple hours went by, I didn't feel anything. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be. We did it again, maybe a few weeks later. And that time I was feeling something. And I was just so excited to even be feeling something that I was enjoying the experience because I was feeling something. I was around people I knew. I felt a little, you know, I was feeling a little loop-de-doo. And I was enjoying it. I tried it again with that friend without my other friends. And because this friend was a friend of a friend, there was some lack of trust that I didn't know I had that was brought to the surface while I was high. And I was paranoid. And paranoia is like literally the number one complaint when you have a bad high, paranoia. So I was so paranoid. I thought he was either trying to rape me or kill me. I didn't know what I was thinking, but I just felt like it was about to be a very bad night and I wasn't going to get home safely. I was really trying to maintain my composure, remembering that I took a substance that's making me think like this. And I'm sure this person does not have bad intentions against me, but I cannot get the thoughts out of my head that this is all a setup and he's going to take me to a house with a bunch of strange men I don't know and they're going to rape me. That's literally what was going through my head. So what I did was I called up my best friend, which is the friend of that friend. And I said, hey, can you stay on the phone with me? While the friend is across the table from me, he's literally sitting across me. I'm like, hey, yeah, I did this thing and I need you to be on the phone with me now because I'm afraid that if you're not on the phone, I have no witnesses to my murder. After that, I took a little break from it. I don't remember the gap in between, how long. But then when I finally got to college, I made a group of girlfriends. And me and my group of girlfriends, they were all, most of them were smokers. I think 2 of them were smokers. And the other 3 of us, we didn't really smoke like that. But when we became together, we're in college, so we started smoking. Let me tell you, me and my friends, especially one of my girlfriends, she used to bust down some backwoods, okay? So she kind of got us all into it. She was like, nah, we smoking backwoods. So we would pull up to every party rolling up mad backwoods. You know, like in the morning. I used to smoke before class, during breaks, after class, at night. So many during the night. Like college, I had to have smoked like more than 5 pounds of weed. You know what I'm saying? Like Like I smoked weed before I ate breakfast. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it was so much, it was out of pocket. I think the most I smoked had to have been my sophomore year, because my sophomore year I was basically living with my boyfriend at the time, and he lived in a suite with like 5 other guys. And you know, they would always go out for psych sessions, and they were all stoners, and then like the girlfriends would come over and we would stay over and spend the night, and then we would smoke with them. It was just so much smoking, so much. When I look back at it now, I'm like, why do college students, even teenagers, fry their brain? You're literally frying your brain. Why do we do that to ourselves? I'm gonna get into it. So fast forward to junior year. Junior year, I moved off campus with my girlfriends, and now we have a house. So we're not sneaking around because we can't be in the dorm smoking. We're not having to go outside in the cold. We have our own bedrooms. There's no smoke detectors. Okay. So even more, I had that was my second year having a bong. I had a bong, which is, you guys know, if you smoke, you have a bong, which is like the little bowl with the water inside, and then you have to pull the tube out while you smoke through the tube. I had one of those, and I preferred that over an actual blunt or joint. All right, so I don't have much memory left, so I'm actually gonna speed this story up. So basically, I used to smoke a lot. All right, I used to smoke a lot, and after college, I realized that I had to be honest with myself. Smoking makes you feel cool. Let's just keep it a buck. Smoking makes you feel cool. You feel like you have something that makes you have a little bit more swag. Like holding a blunt and like blowing out smoke makes you feel so cool. That attachment to that feeling was what I was holding on to. That was a part of me that felt like down. I felt down. I felt like it. And another part of me was holding on to the belief that weed did something positive for me. A lot of times we use the excuse that weed makes us more creative, which I believe it can at certain times. But the amount of times that we honestly smoke, it's not helping our creativity every single time. Some people say it uses it to calm them down. Some people it does, but a lot of us, it does not. But we attach these beliefs. Your brain, you've convinced your brain to attach this meaning to this thing. So whenever you do this thing, your brain thinks it's getting this. So you form a habit and an attachment to it. And what happens is, even though you're not getting this, you will keep doing this because your brain is convinced that this is what it will get, even if within that experience you're not getting that. I literally, after college, I would even be still living in New York City smoking. And what would happen was I would overthink so much when I was high. When I was high, I would think like, oh my God, like my skin, it's so bad. Like my skin is so bad right now. Oh my God. And I would go down a rabbit hole, whatever thought I was thinking. Oh my God, that product I put on my skin today is gonna ruin my skin forever. Like that one product I decided to use today is going to damage my skin forever. Oh my God, this blunt, it's laced. I left that weed sitting there for so long, it developed its own chemicals, and now it's gonna kill me. These are the thoughts that will go through my head. Even though beforehand I would tell myself, you know, I really need a blunt right now. Like I really need a blunt. Like, yo, like I'm stressed. Like I need a blunt to calm me down. And then once I was high, I would have the most paranoid experience and not even be calm. I would convince myself that music sounded better, that food tasted better. And like, although you may have had that one, two, three, a couple experiences where it may have, once you've attached that belief system that this is fact, when I do this, this will happen, you will be chasing that result forever. And that turns into you lying to yourself, and you start to lie every time you decide to use the substance. So I finally decided to be honest with myself, and I said, weed does nothing positive for me. I decided that when I realized that every time I smoked around people that I usually feel confident around, I would start to feel insecure. For example, with my friend, one of my girlfriends, actually all my girlfriends. Another point is, if you notice your friends stop smoking, maybe it's time to let it go. And if your friends do smoke and you're in a group of people that do smoke, and you're not having the best experiences and you're trying to force yourself to have good experiences because they are, you need a different friend group. No cap. But back to my point, I noticed that with my friends that I'm usually confident around, I became insecure. So what I decided to be honest with myself about is that we took away my power of security and confidence and assurity, if that's a word. But that sureness I have usually in myself, that, I'm usually the one to speak when there's a situation happening. If somebody comes to me or, has a question for me and my friends while we're out in the street, I'm the one to usually speak up and I make things clear. But when I'm under the influence, I can't do that. I feel like there is something coming at me and I'm in danger. I have fear when I'm high. And so I had to be honest with myself and say, I don't want to feel powerless. I don't like to feel powerless. I like to be in control and I like to feel like I'm in power. Also, some hygienic points. I stopped smoking because it makes your breath stink. Like the fact that you have to brush your teeth every time after you smoke if you don't want your breath to stink, then your toothbrush starts to stink. Let's be honest. Your hair starts to smell when you smoke all the time. Your clothing starts to smell when you smoke all the time. Your environment starts to smell when you smoke all the time. And truth be told, you so damn high, you probably aren't getting up to wash your laundry and clean your room and sanitize your stuff as often as you should. Like, if we're being honest. I wanted to share that with you guys. I am freeing myself from anything that has a hold on me. I don't want to be held down by anything. I don't want to lie to myself anymore. Drugs can be very tricky because they do play with your mind, and we've convinced ourselves that drugs make us feel better because we're all trying to escape our reality. But let me tell you something. If you're trying to take drugs to make you happy, you're entitled and you're spoiled and you don't understand how life works. Mind you, people who take drugs usually think they understand how life works more. But what I've come to understand is that you're searching to be happy and feel good all the time, so you're using a drug to make you feel good all the time. Life doesn't work like that. The beauty in life is you can handle your highs and your lows. You don't get fazed by your lows, and that's where your power comes from. Drugs don't give you power. You being able to manage every level of life, no matter how low it is, and still be able to maintain a high vibration because you understand that life is happening for you and not to you, that everything you go through is a lesson and not a loss. You start to understand your power. And let me just let you know, drugs are taking away your power. Now, as much as we all want to be like SZA and Wiz Khalifa and all these people who smoke weed and do drugs recreationally, that's them, and let them experience drugs the way they do. But be honest with yourself. All I ask is that you're honest with yourself. Life is actually beautiful and just as magical, and it's like what you're searching for in a high when you're sober, if you learn how to appreciate life when you're sober. Stop running away from your problems. Learn to deal with them. You don't like your family? Learn to love them. Be around them more. Challenge yourself to feel comfortable when you're uncomfortable, because that's you practicing your power. And then once you're powerful, you live literally, once you know your power, you're on a high all the time from just knowing you are powerful in life and you can navigate this life with ease, with finesse. Okay? I'm telling you. So, that's my piece on it. If you guys want to talk about this more, I'm so down. And I encourage anybody who's been thinking about it or hesitating or pondering on the thought of leaving it alone, or you feel like it might be messing up your life, your health, definitely give it a break. You're still amazing without it. You're still dope. Your music, your art, your talent is still amazing without it. And if you can do amazing work sober, what do you need to be high for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, being high, you're altering your thoughts just so you can make something you don't know how to make when you're sober. Are you even good if you can't make work when you're sober? Are you even good if you don't make better work when you're sober in the actual natural realm of your being? Just food for thought. I love you guys. That was for someone out there, and I'm so blessed and happy to be able to deliver this message to you from the source, because we all are one energy and we're here to give to each other. So I'm happy I was able to give that to you. I love you so much. I love all of you, every single one of you. Be great, be strong. Remember, you are powerful, and keep tapping into that power. You can do it sober. Doesn't mean you're a goody two shoes. We all do our thing, but being better is the goal. Just being better every day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.